Not a bad week for the Wings. Started off, pretty bad actually, but then we ended all right. I'm Chris.
I'm Josh.
This is WingsCast, and yeah, I guess we'll just get into it.
Let's jump right in.
Started off getting shut out by Nashville.
Who was in goal for Nashville?
That was I don't even remember now, to be honest with
I
you.
don't even know what their system's like. They've been sending people down and up just like we have. So I would just assume Saros because
I
they
believe
won that
Saros
game.
was. I don't remember Rennie being in.
Mm-mm.
And then the next game, I think it was Saros again, and
Mm-hmm.
that was the disaster
Oh, I
game.
think Peck is hurt. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, we lost 7-1.
Man, that was terrible.
That was a brutal game to watch.
On every single, well, they got a little bit of momentum. Grice started, of course, and let a couple in. That little side one from the red line, from the goal line, he let in right
Yeah,
there against
yeah.
Rocco Grimaldi, of all people. Not Ryan Ellis, not or Yossi, not even Ryan Johansson. Rocco Grimaldi,
Yeah,
of all
well,
people.
it was a good game for Grimaldi. He got a hat trick in 2 minutes and 48 seconds, I think.
Jesus, yeah,
So
absolutely terrible.
that was pretty rough. Then they had what Bobby Ryan said was the hardest practice
What does that even mean?
of
What
the
does that
year.
look like? What does a Blashel hard practice look like?
I don't know.
What do you think it looks like? If I had to guess, a couple of flow drills, maybe at 90% effort, and maybe a little suicide drill at the end. I think that's
Yeah,
about
it's a hard
that's a
practice.
hard practice for those
Okay,
guys.
I don't know, but it was specifically mentioned that it was the hardest practice of the year, which I kind of thought was interesting. But you also have to wonder with the effort that they came out with, in Columbus on Saturday, that maybe they need to have a few more hard practices.
I don't I don't know what it is. I mean, I could tell you what it is, but I mean, it's been the same way for all these months and years with Blashill. It's just okay. Well, we'll have a practice here and there. We'll come out and play hard the next game, and the next game against Columbus was fantastic.
Yeah, they
Really,
on
complete
Saturday
effort
against Columbus, the effort all around. But the minutes actually for the players made sense for once.
for
You
once.
had Larkin, I think, played 20, Mantha played 19, and then Zadina and
Fabry
Fabry, Nemesnikov all played, I think, over 17.
and Hronik just took
He took 24 minutes.
he took 24 minutes. Man, that's crazy. I can't even
That's
imagine. 45 seconds of per shift. He probably played 50, close to 55 to a minute and a half, minute 5 per shift.
yeah.
You got to have some pretty good conditioning for that.
He's played well. I think a lot of people were down on him. For a while, we were losing, and it's Hronik's not really that good, this and that, and he wasn't great to start the year,
Man.
but
Well,
you're asking a lot of him,
Well, he's against the number one lines
right?
all year, all the
Right.
time. So, and I mean, he really hasn't had a lot of help. I don't think Stetcher or even I don't know. That's a good question too. Can Stetcher hold down a first line?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he can.
More of a puck- more of a
Stetcher's pretty
puck
good.
mover to me, like a Green, like a
Who's
more
that? Stetcher?
yeah, like a better Green.
He's a lot better than
Oh,
Green.
for sure, like a better Green. What Green should have been, right?
Yeah, you would have liked him to have been.
Right.
So did well in Columbus. Playing in Columbus on Sunday. We're recording before that,
Mm-hmm.
so we aren't
Currently up
talking
one
about that.
nothing.
Yeah, some Svechnikov guy
Snipe.
scored a goal.
A snipe. It
Imagine.
wasn't some garbage goal thrown from the red line, picking it up and just tapping it in. Actual snipe from the high slot. He just was Merzlikins. Yeah,
Yeah, Merzlikins.
Yeah. Elvis.
But no one saw that coming because
Just in time for him to go down.
probably. Anyways, some good prospect news for the week. You got Gravet started an amateur tryout in Grand Rapids along with Patrick Holloway. Gravet was a 2018 draft pick, if I remember correctly, and I think Holloway was 2016, 2015. He was a later draft pick. He was a sixth rounder, I think, 2015 or 2016.
If we didn't do this show, I would not know who those guys are.
Gravet actually got drafted. With there was some notice of him getting drafted. People thought that was a really good pick. He kind of, I don't know. He's gonna take a while if he ever makes it to the NHL. A lot of people think he'd be a good bottom six forward.
And we got a lot of bottom six forwards in the pipeline.
I think everyone does, right? I mean, the guys you're really going to draft, more or less, if they make the NHL, aren't going to be stars. So,
well, we got plenty of. I think we got plenty of stars too. You got Sider, Raymond. Yeah, you're high on him.
yeah.
Who else?
Johansson's pretty
Johansson.
good.
Yep, he's going to be good. He's probably going to anchor that line with Sider at some point.
And I think that's a little high for him. But so we got those two guys. They signed amateur tryouts. They're actually playing in the AHL, which is kind of cool. They got that more or less because the OHL is shut down,
Right.
especially for Greve. Greve, he was going to come over and play in the OHL with it not starting. He's playing in the A for a little bit, and
There,
he played some decent minutes his first game. He did all right. Um, Other guy that we didn't talk, he didn't get signed last week. I believe he got signed 2 weeks ago. Was Donovan Sabrango. Got
this
his
kind of came out of nowhere for me.
entry level contract, not an
Yeah.
amateur tryout. So he's yeah. So the clock's ticking on him
Well,
now.
he's a big defenseman too. I mean, I think what 6'5". I got written down here 6'5", I believe. And I mean, 19 years old. I mean, just big old Canadian kid too. I mean, he's played in the juniors over there, and it's a jungle. I mean, any of the documentaries you hear, it's a jungle over there when it comes to the juniors. And then you go graduates over to Kitchener Rangers, and I think he's averaging. I mean, 9 or 10 points a year. I mean, playing 20 games, 25 games. So I mean, it's a good it's going to be an interesting transition with these big defensemen that we got coming in,
Yeah, we have a lot
how
of
they're
them.
going to adjust. And this is exactly how Eisman built Tampa on the back end first with these big defensemen. And I mean, you don't run it. I mean, just from looking at Sider, kid's going to be an absolute unit when he gets here.
Yeah.
Absolute unit. And he's not real thick. It's just really strong on skates.
Oh yeah, he is really strong on his skates.
Yeah. I think it'd be the same with this guy too. You know, just from the highlights I've seen, he's a good puck mover. I don't think he's as patient as Sider, but I don't think there's a lot of prospects out there right now, or a lot of defensemen are as patient as some of the stuff that we've seen from Sider.
Yeah, Sider's quite a ways ahead of
But
what
that
people at his age usually are at.
that comes with reps.
Yeah,
Good coaching.
I like Sabrango. I thought it was a really good pick when we made it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, we're gonna see. I guess how he goes. He's actually the first person from that draft class for us to get his entry level contract, which is kind of interesting.
Well, I don't think Heisman does anything not just to do something. Like I feel like okay, we got to lock this guy up quick. Caulfield's just signed, which is
Well, he had to wait though because
he had to
of
wait.
the NCAA.
Right, but I do think this guy is high on Stevie's piece of paper. So
Yeah, I like it. It's coming along. It'll be fun to watch in Grand Rapids going
Mhm.
forward. It's a good place for him. And then I guess after that, we have a lot of prospects over in the SHL
Mhm.
that I think a lot of people thought maybe when the SHL season ended, we might get to see over here playing for the Wings or playing in Grand Rapids. And I don't know off the top of my head how long the AHL season's supposed to go.
I don't either. I mean, I think people. The only thing I know about the AHL is obviously the Griffins and the $1 beer nights over at Van Andel Arena on Thursdays. That's about the only thing I keep up on besides obviously the players. But
Yeah, the majority of those guys that we have in the SHL, they're going to go in the SHL playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Which is good.
Yeah, I think Veleno's team is
He just scored his 19th of the year.
19.
I believe so.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's
Look it up.
Might be his 19th point or his 19th goal.
I think it's his 19th goal.
I find that
Follow the science.
Follow. Yeah, I don't. All right.
So if it's a lie or if it's not true, then we'll just roll with it.
Yeah,
we'll just roll with it.
We didn't say that.
Video.
Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
Other than that, the big news from the last week for the NHL, basically lead wide, was the draft changes for the draft lottery going into. It affects this year, but most of it affects only next year going forward.
Well,
I know you're a fan of this.
I'm not a big fan of it at all because I think it's an acknowledgement by the NHL instead of, hey, we've had this, instead of coming out and just saying, hey, this process isn't really working, though they're just going to change it, especially when we've had, 3 drafts with franchise changers on it, right? Wouldn't you say? Hughes,
Lafreniere,
Lafreniere, or whatever.
Yeah.
And who else? Who's Hughes, Lafreniere, and then,
in the Rasmussen draft, I don't even remember.
Well, even those 2 or 3 picks right there last year, if we have Stützle right now,
yeah, you would.
Think how crazy
3.
he is.
Yep.
Was a Dina or a Larkin or a Fabry right now? Think how crazy that line is.
Yeah. So the actual draft changes starting this year. The only lottery picks are first and second. So the worst team in the NHL will pick third, guaranteed. It's not fourth like we've been subjected to. And then starting next year,
or ninth.
Well, yeah. Starting next year, you've got teams who win outside of the playoffs. Like if you're the 16th pick, you can only move up 10 slots overall. Or I guess, well, they'll have 16 people missing the playoffs next year.
I like that rule. But it should have been there.
I thought it should have been 8. 8, that way the bottom 8 teams are the only teams that can, jump up. But, that's all right. Jump up all the way to the to a win over, first overall. So I guess that means that if you win, you'll actually pick fourth then or whatever.
I don't know. No one really. listen, this
That'd
draft
be
lottery
interesting.
system we have going on, I have no idea. I don't even know what the new one's going to look like before. I mean, you look at Buffalo, you know, they should be penalized. Let's just
Just for
agree
being
here.
terrible.
Just for being like that way. There's no reason that roster should be that bad
I agree.
at all. Like
Yeah.
there's no reason. Like, oh well, we're just not clicking. Oh, it doesn't matter. You throw those guys in any other team, they get the job done. I don't think it's coaching. I think it's GM or who's GM Botterill or somebody like that. They fired him too, but it's ownership just saying, just Tank, we got to get better players in here. Can't get much
You got
better.
enough good players.
Exactly. So I mean,
Yeah. Just the fact that every signing they've made, big UFA signing, has just been terrible for them.
yeah, jeez.
Then the other thing that, of course, is affected is you can only win 2 lottery picks in 5 years. So,
Which is another good rule.
which is another
You
good
avoid
rule.
the Edmonton
Yeah.
debacle, which
Yep.
another wasted team, really, right? That was supposed to be
Until McDavid.
yeah, until I mean,
prior to
he's
that,
wasting
yeah.
his time over there. Honestly, he's playing at 10 o'clock every night Eastern Standard. Thank God we signed the ESPN contract, right?
Yeah, you'll see a
Nobody
lot
will
more
see
of
this
him.
guy. But I mean, it's just you avoid the multiple years where Edmonton gets it, and Taylor Hall is going to be on Buffalo. They're probably going to get the first pick. So the last 3 years that they've had these picks, Taylor Hall's been on that team. So that should tell you exactly who Taylor Hall is, right? As a player,
Is
think
Taylor,
about that.
hold on. Is
New
that
Jersey,
right?
New Jersey,
New Jersey, yep. But they traded him before it, but yeah.
New Jersey, Edmonton, right? Edmonton got their pick from him,
That
and
was a while back. Edmonton didn't get a lottery pick since McDavid.
who picked third first 3 years ago? I guess was it Buffalo again?
Darlene.
Yeah, Darlene. Yeah. So
So
I mean,
it wasn't then, but yeah, the other two he has a hand in now.
yeah, and I mean he jokes about it on Twitter. This might be I'm gonna fired up because we should have got one of those picks. I honestly
shoulda had
believe it. We were terrible last year.
Yeah,
We should have got that first pick, but whatever.
would have been
Thanks,
nice.
Batman. Right.
But, oh well. That's it. Really, just wrapping up this week. There's not a whole lot going on. Hopefully, hopefully we have another decent week. Hopefully the players keep.
Well, the playoff matches are heating up for different teams right now, which
Yeah.
is interesting to see. Like Minnesota, who is it? Colorado and Vegas.
Yep.
Lord
Yep.
have mercy, man. That's good hockey right there. Fast,
Yeah, it is.
physical, and you got guys on each team that can fight. So I like to see it. I look forward to that matchup for sure.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. There's some other good ones that are to be had out there. Obviously, we're not partaking in any of that.
Battle of Alberta, man. I can't wait till it's Colorado and Detroit again, man. Right?
I don't know if you'll ever see it. I mean, because the different conferences, right? So you'll never. It'll be in the finals only, so you won't get the. You'll never see
Oh,
that
that's
rivalry
right, that's
again.
right.
You'll never see that rivalry, and in the season, I think you'll play them twice or whatever.
Who's
it
our
is.
rival? Tampa. That we're losing.
Yeah,
royally
kind
to,
of.
but we compete with them now.
We compete with them. Yeah, we usually up the
We
game
play pretty
for
good.
Tampa.
Yeah, I would say shit, but we're
Yeah.
terrible though.
All right, I don't have anything else.
I'm good.
All right, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, helps us out. See you guys next time.
See ya.